I think we could definitely segue this into the spoiler section now.
You want to do that?
Most definitely, because you know what I've been waiting to talk about?
I mean,
that whole Fast and Furious scene with Batman when he whipped out this like large, huge Mustang out of nowhere. First of all, this man looked like he was dead. All right.
You don't get to joke, not today.
And all of a sudden, he teleported to the car, and then all of a sudden, he revving it up. This thing louder than a bomb going off in the movie theater. And he's in the chase scene with the penguin.
Yo,
like,
they
damn.
took a page out of Need for Speed's book for real with that scene.
I definitely agree. Like, IMAX setting for this movie was just amazing in terms of the audio and whatnot, because there's a lot of audio design that I enjoyed a lot, because, like, Batman's first scene, the one that you didn't hear when he first gets introed, right? And then you see, like, aspects of the elements of the city and exactly, like, what kind of fear Batman is invoking in the people, right? Because that's what they were showing. So when Batman is attending one of the scenes, right, in terms of, like, the enemies he's going after that night, you hear he has a very ironclad suit. Like, he's very built up in this movie in terms of, like, he prepared for a lot of this type of, attacks he would get. And you just hear the clang of the boot and the dark shadow in the background as he slowly but surely slinks out of the shadows. And it's just like, the dudes are just standing there like, dang, who the heck is this guy? Then they start getting the beats by beat, like...
Yo, Batman had some of the rawest hands I've seen for a while on a movie screen. Like,
and the thing is, I love
Batman,
good action,
so
but
that's to be expected.
Exactly, because Batman is a master hand-to-hand artist. But in this movie specifically, this dude must have did a lot of boxing training, because so much people got hit with hooks and uppercuts. My goodness, Dante, the dude who ran into the roof. He got hit by the hook uppercut.
Damn, man, what the hell?
Priceless.
Yeah.
You folded again?
Yeah. The amount of two pieces Batman gave people in that club, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Nah, almost a straight, but not quite.
Yep.
Bro, the people that was knocked out in 2 seconds when he rolled up in that club, it was just dishing it out to people.
Like, every punch you could possibly think of you ever seen in your life, you seen at one point in this movie.
Bro,
right?
that's what made me want to watch it again, just to see all these days, action.
Yeah.
All right, so the Riddler, the thing that I really loved about his purpose, not necessarily that I support the means of how he did it, was that he was trying to stop the corruption in the city.
Right.
Batman had to stop him, obviously, because people are dying for him to do what he's doing.
Yeah, because he's going about it through lethal means.
But he's stopping corruption in the city. Like, his whole point behind doing everything, all his victims, everybody he went after, everybody he set the traps up for, and the whole nine, they were all part of an organization, the police, the mayor, the government, even down to Batman's family. You found out about Thomas, what he was doing. You found out about Bruce's mom, like the condition that she had, what he was trying to cover up, how he paid off, like, the head of the police, and so many other things.
Yeah, in terms of exactly that Gotham in and of itself to its core is like pretty corrupted.
What he was trying to do, he was trying to take out everybody who's doing more and more to make the city worse and worse as things go by. So that's what the Riddler's main goal was. But he was willing to, take lives to do it. Yep. Even at the expense of innocent lives, as you can see as the movie progressed with the bigger...
Oh, the end game event.
Innocent lives, you mean Alfred?
Alfred's still alive.
He didn't die.
Don't talk like that. I want to see him for the sequel, bro.
Wait, imagine how much people just click the video off after
right.
But that's the thing. It's one of these movies where, in terms of world building and whatnot, Gotham is pretty established, and then you could tell there's already other players that's probably already in existence.
Wait, this is mine, right? Wait, of course it is.
Yeah. They're already in existence, but they're not a player yet. But they definitely are looming around in the background, the underbelly. And then, in terms of what Dante was saying about Riddler, it's that duality aspect in terms of, obviously, Batman, he was unaware of the level of corruption that was going on within Gotham. And this was starting to be exposed to him by the Riddler in the first place, and then he starts to uncover how deep that, does this go. But then at the same time, Riddler's going to the extent of, lethal means, which isn't Batman's route at all. If he's going to expose corruption, he would expose them and get them handled by the...
I didn't raise you. You had 5 fives. Well, he tried to re-raise, but I didn't raise you. I matched you. He tried it, though.
Sure.
Put that back. Yeah, because I ain't got money like you. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was talking about Batman Riddler in terms of
and
Batman starting to
behind-the-scenes
learn the
character
corruption
that
aspects
was-
and whatnot. But obviously, Batman will go the route of, you know what I'm saying, exposing them. But that's the thing. The entire system is basically under control by by a criminal element. So it's just like, even if Batman was supposed to go the straight-laced route, it wouldn't even amount to anything, just with how the city is operating at this point. And then we finally have somebody who isn't corrupted, the newer mayor that's coming in, you know? So in terms of, like, through her...
As far as we know.
Yeah. Through her, she'd be the only means of... But this is the thing where Riddler's mentality is that's where it goes to this negative state. Because with her, he didn't even give her any type of chance at all. Unlike with the other mayor who he had dirt on and he killed. With the latest mayor, he had nothing on her. She was relatively clean, but he believed there's no salvaging of Gotham at all. It's completely, done. Which is why he went to the extreme that he did. It just shows, like, Riddler had this intent to a degree, but with his degenerating psyche, he already just believes Gotham in and of itself is something that's unsalvageable, which is why he decided to destroy it.
Right? Because usually in times like that, the villain would also murk themselves.
Yeah.
But the villain had no intention of dying.
No.
He was going to watch
sealed
everything happen.
Yeah, but it's like,
prison.
Couldn't he potentially, like, something could happen to him? But here's the thing. He feels like his purpose was fulfilled, right? But the one thing that wasn't fulfilled was Batman following a line in his mentality at the end of the movie, right? He believed that Batman would fall in line with what his thought process was, but he didn't. He denied him and tried to resist and change what was going on, which wasn't according to Riddler's plan because of how he started breaking down in that aspect. Right. So it's just like, and then once that changed, his final plan got ruined by Batman as well. Because obviously, if it wasn't ruined, then they would have got rid of the new mayor, and then the city would have just been an unstable chaos. There's no order. There's no new mayors. Ain't nobody gonna run after that. There's no one left. The government and the city would fall apart.
Right. And not only that, speaking of people who will fall in line, let's talk about who had a riddle for the Riddler. Remember when he shared the cell? Well, not shared the cell, but he had the neighboring cell.
At the very end of the movie.
And then a guy asked him, I got a riddle for you, right? What? How did it go again? What increases in value the less you have?
Yeah,
the less of it you have? Well, when I sat there in the theater, in my brain, I assumed a coin. Because the less money you have, the more it's going to be valuable to you.
Okay, I can see that perspective.
No, definitely. The first thing I thought of was gold. So similarly,
they said
it was funny. He said friend, which I was thinking about a humanity aspect,
right? And they both laughed at all.
I was thinking that, but I didn't say friend exactly. I didn't think it was money though. That didn't come to mind for some reason. But
not money per se. I was thinking specifically a coin.
Yeah, but obviously coin currency. But I see what you're thinking there.
So there is something I wanted to bring up real quick because you kind of brought it up. On the low when you mentioned the corruption with the police and all that. I like how they gave snippets of who the person was that actually was like running all that corruption. Yeah, they kind of try to use Penguin as a complete redirection.
Yeah, they did because of the bird thing.
Right.
Yeah,
with the stories and the
well,
Falcone.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention to the riddle,
with the whole Falcone. The snippets of story you got from Falcone's and Bruce's and Thomas Wayne's past. You kind of figure out oh wait, this guy is more involved than we anticipated, and then boom, at the end you realize
because I found it interesting that they made when we get few instances of Batman as Bruce, right? And even as Bruce, he wants nothing to do with anything but to hop back into the suit and get to work, right? And the thing is, it's to the extent where Alfred is telling him that the money of the company is going down because of the choices he's making with how much he's using as Batman. And Bruce doesn't even care if it collapses as long as he completes his mission. Which is we're used to Batman having dang, he got infinite money. But no, this man is going to become bankrupt because he's not changing his mentality from what he's doing.
He's not in it for the money.
No, the story ends up building up Bruce to reach that end point where it's I can't only battle this as Batman alone. And my message of vengeance isn't the only way to change the city, which is what it seems like it'll be a character arc where Bruce Wayne develops into Bruce Wayne, cementing more of his more of the well-rounded kind of character of Batman that we see, where he's more of a hero, more heroic, and his personality is more aligned. As you see, he's really dealing with internal chaos.
All right, so I'm so glad you brought that up because that's what I was missing. That part of Batman, the Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, but to me, I wasn't too bad about it because I could see where they're going in terms of the direction. And ultimately, at the end, he knows the direction of what he needs to become. We didn't really get to see him becoming like that version of Bruce Wayne, where he's like more, he's getting more centered and more versed in exactly what he needs to do. But there's this buildup of his mentality is going in that direction, which is going to affect future movies because clearly set up for sequels, obviously.
Nah, man, but the beauty of, Bruce Wayne, and I'm just saying, this is just a personal preference because y'all know me, I'm Team Iron Man. Was that you got to see him like inventing stuff, creating stuff that would actually help Gotham.
Nah, but if we want to talk about context of character, right? One of the main parts of that highlighted it so much was when the Riddler explained to Batman what it felt like to actually be an orphan versus Batman, having your parents dead and then you had to like grow up without them.
Yeah.
But Riddler broke down the experience of actually being there. In Gotham. Nobody to look out for you.
Being a poor orphan versus being a billionaire.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I was about to get
at.
But
that's the thing. The experience of being an orphan is completely different for the two of them, obviously.
But we know that, Bruce Wayne obviously grew up and inherited the fortune of his parents. But
and he was taking care
Riddler
of
did not. Yeah. He had to go through the whole 9 of like actually being out there in the real world with nobody to look after you. And the harsh conditions. Yeah. Bruce didn't have to ever experience that.
And the aspects of what Riddler's, like, what he was doing, how his character acts, and the torture aspects he was using all comes from the orphanage and what he was subjected to growing up.
That's crazy. Because aren't orphanages supposed to be nice, peachy places?
Have you seen Gotham? Well, you got to see Gotham.
Gotham is basically New York.
It's dying. It's a super dead New York.
That's both a play on Gotham and a play in real life. Because
in essence, it's based...
a play on Gotham.
No, Gotham is based...
And a play on the city.
Like, Gotham is based on destroyed, like, corrupt 70s New York. That was ridiculous. It was like everything was just nasty, destroyed, and crime
the crack
everywhere.
Epidemic, the drops.
Exactly. Gotham is basically that, but even worse. And then when you saw the orphanage, when Batman broke in there at one point in the movie, it wasn't even orphans there. It was just nothing but freaking drug heads that were there in the first place. And then you just see the nature and the state, the rats running around. All the stuff that made Riddler go into that deranged mentality.
Yo, where the suitcase at? Jaquan needs to be in the game, man.
Nah, man, he took his L. Let it rock.
If you want to resurrect me, that's your choice. I'm chilling.
We about to end this because I'm about to get your opinions on what you think overall about the movie.
Yes, but these are aspects and elements of the movie. But overall, I feel, in terms of like final thoughts.
Final thoughts, and what's your rating out of 5?
You love out of 5. Final thoughts. I'm definitely curious about what potential sequels could come out of this. I like that there's a lot of angles here that's developed. In terms of the world, I think one of the things why I was sucked in so well into it, in terms of the pacing and whatnot, is because you got the premise nailed in the very beginning. And it's just like, I love dark, gritty Batman aspects. So it's just like, just seeing these aspects all meshed together and just seeing the well-rounded aspect of a Batman in terms of the detective aspect that a lot of the other movies be lacking, I was just like fully engaged with the mystery and unraveling the kind of journey there. There's always like a good mystery adventure here and there. We're definitely going to be playing after this is done. But yes, the elements to make the movie is pretty dope. I was definitely very engaged by it, honestly. Because I came in with I had I think middle of the road expectations. That's where I was at. I was like, I didn't know what to think. I was like, it's one of those movies I gotta just see.
And lo and behold, ended up being good.
For me, it's like a 4 out of 5 to me. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of
for you.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better movies.
He's not an easy person to please, y'all. Trust me.
No,
he's not easy to please.
That's why I liked it. I like aspects of the casting choices, the character dynamics, and whatnot. And then definitely, I think what really nailed me was them nailing Gotham perfectly. Like this was Gotham. Like if they'd use Gotham in future movies, this is the perfect blueprint of what you're supposed to make that place feel like.
Oh, real quick, we forgot about talking about Gordon.
Oh yeah, Gordon's amazing. Oh my god,
I was just about to get at that on my opinion.
Gordon is freaking amazing.
I was gonna talk about that on my opinion, bro.
Yeah, and he's one of those.
Give
characters,
me a chance.
Yeah, damn. We'll get there. But he's one of those characters that even though he was race swapped in this, it's just that overall the character is nailed perfectly.
Nah, I was gonna let you talk, but it's the fact that he said he's gonna ask our final thoughts. I'm like,
no,
I was getting ready to say that, and then he just came out of nowhere. Give me my chance.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I was thinking about Gordon the whole time, but because Dante started talking about the Batman Riddler aspects, I wanted to get into
right.
that.
I get you.
Yeah,
but bro, I feel like I got robbed just now. Like,
my bad.
You really just stole that from me like that.
I just popped in my head. I was like, wait.
I know, but damn, bro.
The last thing I'll say here is what I love that they did with the Batman Riddler dynamic is they were built in that yin yang element where they both followed two trajectories that were similar.
Two sides of the same coin.
Right, but you see exactly where one trails off and then one kind of stays in
And
another way.
speaking of coin, who do you think that was in the other cell?
Like I said, it's most likely Two-Face. It just felt like it. But I'm surprised. I was like, okay, because Two-Face has been used in other
Nah, man, that was
so.
a joke. What you talking about, Two-Face?
It seems like it. But yeah, I always like when they do that element very well because when those characters finally clash in terms of mentalities or ideologies, it's such an interesting thing to see come out. How they're battling one another in terms of what their thought processes are.
All right. You go.
All right. So in terms of Commissioner Gordon now, what I really love about him in this movie is he plays his character down to the T. Like, obviously, everybody's so focused on Batman, the vigilante aspect. Oh, it's illegal. They're more focused on trying to stop Batman than they are on actually doing what they need to do to solve the case, which is annoying, but you get the whole premise. Gordon is one of the few people who keeps the common sense and says, look, Batman knows what he's doing. If we're going to be able to stop this guy, we need somebody who's capable, smart enough, and fully aware of what's going on and what we won't realize to help us, which is Batman. Gordon worked with Batman throughout the whole movie. Their chemistry was always in sync. Everything was smooth down to the T. They did what they had to do. Gordon played his part. He didn't get in the way, and he knew when to come step up and do what he had to do as a cop.
Yeah.
So I respect the Gordon that they have for this movie. They get a 4 out of 5 just for that alone for me, but overall, I got the same rating as Jaquan in the movie. That was a 4 out of 5.
Gordon for me is always a fan favorite type of character for me because he's.
And before I forget,
yeah,
Catwoman was amazing too. I'm not even gonna front.
Yeah,
I definitely like the Catwoman. That scene where Batman was watching in her house from the window with the binoculars, that was low key kind of suspect. But
let's be real.
He had to figure out who she was. So I'm.
Let's be real. Why did Batman? We would all be doing what he did.
Why didn't I hear Dante's kind of lie? That was kind of turning me on. He did say that.
He's trying to be.
I'm not trying to get canceled.
PG for the recording, but
because she came out and she was free.
So you gonna expose me?
Completely free.
So you gonna expose me? You gonna tell them what I texted you in the middle of that scene? I did say that. I ain't gonna front. I said it.
Goodness. But she really, and one of the cool things about Catwoman too is she shows that she can hold her own very well in terms of fight scenes.
Oh, that's a fact. She was lethal with them kicks.
And you know what I'm saying? And they showed the dynamic very well between her and Batman. Like when they boxed for the first time, Batman straight up whooped her because they not on the same level.
I mean, he didn't whoop her. He humbled her. If he wanted to whoop her, she would have got the
potato,
the left,
right, exactly,
up, down.
Exactly. But she definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Catwoman, she could get down.
Batman, the type of guy, you still a piece of gum. He hit you with every move on the move.
Well, we seen every single combo button combination.
Right.
Well, all he needs is the 2-piece. That's what he
even had a super.
Did you see what he did to the first guy in the subway?
Well, he did it.
No.
Watch the trailer.
What you missed was Batman gave him the 19-piece.
Make sure you're on time, okay?
Please do not be late.
Batman gave that man the 19-piece combo, for no reason.
And this is one of those movies where if you can get the IMAX experience, 100% do that. The audio design.
Yo, it's so real. I forgot we was in IMAX, bro.
The score too. Like in terms of the Batman theme when he was on scene, that theme was awesome. And they've made millions of Batman themes, but in terms of music, like that dude, he killed it. They've been hiring him everywhere because I think he also did Spider-Man music also.
All right, so let me just say my
piece.
All right, so easy 4 out of 5. I don't think anybody could argue that. What happened?
I said your half piece. You ain't see the first part.
Oh my! I missed like the first 15 minutes.
Well, Brighton, you know you're gonna rewatch the movie. There you go see that first 15.
Yeah, I have to rewatch the movie.
Then he's gonna leave the theater crying like, how could I miss the first 15 minutes?
But yeah, again, characters were great. Setting was great. The only things that I really missed again was the Bruce Wayne aspect, but again, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense as to why That wasn't there. And again, there was this moments where there was like these slow dramatic scenes. I was just like, come on, just like when he would take out the envelopes and open it. It's like, does this have to take a whole minute?
I get you with that.
But again,
that's Riddler with all these bombs. And
Hold
stuff
on,
like that?
Brighton. You really getting mad at Batman for taking his time when it's the Riddler doing this, bro? You don't know what type of setup he had. With bro.
Batman has seen Riddler been out here putting bombs and ish like that with his methodical movement. And it was strange because from the beginning he was sending messages to Batman from the jump, which is why Gordon had brought Batman in the first place. But no, I'm not. I get what Brian's saying.
I get that too.
But on the valid points.
Yeah, because it's like my man gonna open the letter and next thing you know, bye.
Like why are you rushing that? And then you gotta look at the circumstance too. You gotta think about where he's going with these things too.
But I will say though, in pertaining to what Brighton is saying there, also remember the guy who had the bomb attached to him, the video call thing. Batman could clearly see this bomb about to.
Oh yeah, he stood right there and let himself get caught in the explosion.
That's
right?
my thing because he was this desperate for the information. At the same time, I'm like, man, this is the thing. Batman doesn't make decisions that he doesn't know he's not going to survive. But I'm just like, you're really confident in this dang suit. Like your whole chin is not armored, and he was like right here, like
that is true.
What's up, Riddler? But like the literal bomb is
to the
in
face
his,
and
like, yo, is his chin made out of iron?
Yo, Jaquan. I guess Batman thought he was the Crimson.
That's the one thing I'll say though, because I was like, "Why are you standing right there?" I was like,
that didn't make sense.
I get what he was doing because he's really being incessant here on the information aspect, but at the same time, like, dang man, you really confident in this suit.
Yeah. And that just made things a little bit over dramatic. That's why I can't really give it a 4.5 higher than 4.
But I did like the suit. But my man used the battering like one time.
All right, that's what I have a problem with. You see, that's what I have a problem with.
You guys trying to take your scores though?
No, not at all. That's why I gave it 4, not 5.
I said that. You said.
It's just funny because he didn't have to use the battering that much, but I was just like,
I would have preferred to see it. You know what I mean? Like people shooting guns at him and stuff. At least throw the battering. Like you know,
I ain't even mad at it because the level of beats by Drake.
Right, I was just about to say that's probably what you're getting at.
Yeah, because this Batman was the thing is Batman is really like that in the beginning. He's very like physical.
Right, and also before you go more than that, another thing I want to say to you too. The reason why the slow scenes didn't bother me is because it wasn't just slow and they just staring. It was information in them scenes. You get what I'm saying?
And there's aspect of suspense too, because Riddler gives these horror elements that I enjoy too. You know, like that same guy who put the bomb on, he was just sitting in the vehicle. Word. And it's crazy because Catwoman almost got caught up in that too. If she took the ride, then she would have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? She would have had to fight the Riddler.
Well, we know a ride she wanted.
But you know what's interesting? If she did have to fight him, I think she'd probably beat him. Because Riddler, physicality-wise, he was saying he's physically weak, which is why he's using weapons and sneaking up on people. You know? But Catwoman, she's physical. She probably would have beat that
physically weak, but you got people slumped in their own cribs, right? Like, what do you mean physically
he
weak?
really was
with a hammer, it doesn't take much.
The other thing is, the Riddler suit was goofy, you know? But I get it, because of the way his mentality was. I was just like, the other suits I enjoyed, oh my God, Catwoman's mask was hilarious to me, but she don't got no money, so I understand the mask. But the suit was perfect. I love the suit.
You love the suit or you just love the leather?
Nah, I like the suit.
Or the way it look on her.
I mean, she was built like how Catwoman should.
Okay, hold on. The most important thing that we have to say, all right? Because if y'all made it this far and you remember the Uncharted review, Chloe was a disappointment. Catwoman, Zoe, is not a disappointment. All right?
Oh,
just letting you know. Have high anticipation.
Now it's funny. If Chloe was the right age and this actress played Chloe, I would have been sold.
I don't want to hear that.
I would have forgot I'm watching a movie.
You see Dante out here bugging. Dante, you need to become an actor, bro, so you can shoot a shot.
We covered everything. Are we forgetting anything? Any final thoughts y'all want to add? Nothing?
I think I know all the characters and purpose and whatnot. I definitely enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I just about said everything too.
Right, cool. All right. 4s across the board, y'all. That's it.
Yeah. 5.